Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the hashtag TFR Motivation Monday Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles. We have great information for you on an amazing follow-up to the 31-day challenge. And we've got a special guest too who's going to share with us her experience on this. So just pay attention. But before we get into the meeting today, before we get into the content, before we get into the information, Marcy, tell them about this Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel, will you?
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing because it's a resource for you. We record all of the trainings, presentations, and we put them up there on the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel so you can go and find it at any time that it works for you. We know that live doesn't always work for everybody. So go and find Team Freedom Reigns on YouTube, subscribe, ring that bell, ask for notifications so you get that notification when we upload new content, and we do it every single week. So please go and subscribe after the call tonight, not before, because we want to make sure that you don't miss out on this follow-up call to the 31-day challenge that we have for the month of March for Team Freedom Reigns. So you want to go ahead and kick us off here?
Yes, I wanted to start this off by maybe going back in time to an amazing book that I hope all of you read, or if you haven't read it yet, please put it on your to-do list. And it's the book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And one of those 7 habits is beginning with the end in mind. So we wanted to just reiterate why we started this 31-day challenge, but we're 7 days in now. We're just completing our first week. And if you haven't had it and reach out every day of the week, every day of the month, don't stress about it. Just make sure that we're thinking about what it's going to look like at the end. So because it's 7 days, you may have had only 3 or 5, or maybe you have all 7, or maybe you couldn't get somebody one day. That means you can get 2 tomorrow. So we want you to think about the end. 31 days from the 1st of March, what do we want to accomplish? Well, maybe it was 31 days for you to get out of your comfort zone. One person per day to share your favorite product story with. So maybe 31 times you got a little uncomfortable. I guarantee you that was 31 times for you to grow, or 31 hurdles that you had to overcome. Maybe reaching out to somebody and it puts you in an awkward situation, and maybe you're not a really good public speaker, you think, or that's just how you feel about yourself. It's 31 hurdles to jump over, but it's also, once you've done that, it's 31 boxes to check. Put someone's name in there. If you didn't do one yesterday, put 2 in there tomorrow, or however it works out for you. And then, because when you think about what it is, it's the potential for 31 lives to be changed, whether they become a customer of yours, whether they become a distributor of yours. They listen to your favorite story, which can literally change their life forever. Because if they have benefits needed that you are getting from your product, or you're weaving that into your story, you could just change 31 lives, but it goes beyond that. Every person knows at least 300 people by name, which means you are sharing your story with a person that has the ability to impact 300 people minimum, which could be the beginning of 31 different legacies that they leave by you stepping outside your comfort zone with one person per day in this 31-day challenge. So think about the end of the month, 31 opportunities to grow, get uncomfortable, share your story, check off a box toward this promotion, and help people live their best quality of life by listening to your favorite product story.
Now, if you are one of those people out there that maybe doesn't know what's going on here, you're like, but Dondi, but Marcy, I have no idea what this 31-day challenge is. Well, guess what? That amazing YouTube channel that I was just talking about, that's the place for you to go and to watch the replay from last week to see what this challenge is all about. It's all about progress. It's all about getting into the zone of sharing what you already love with somebody else that you could possibly help them get the benefits also. So keep that in mind. If you need to go back and watch last week's call, please go do that so that you have all of your questions answered. But on top of that, guys, I mean, think about this. Do you think that all 31 of these people are going to say yes to you in the month of March? Yeah, no, right? But what we're doing is, first of all, you're practicing getting outside of your comfort zone. You are growing in yourself, but you're also filling your funnel so that you can keep moving forward into the month of April. And some of this will even roll over into May. But at the same time, in April, you should be doing the same challenge every single month to keep yourself filling that funnel of new people that you're sharing your favorite products with. Now, it doesn't have to be the same product in April as it was in March. You can pick a new one. You can become more familiar. This is a great way for you to learn more about our products as well, by becoming educated on a new favorite product every single month that you start to reach out to people for, because there's so many different types of people out there that need different things and are looking for different things, that you could very well just broaden your net casting and have your funnel completely full moving into the spring and summer months. So the lives that can be changed, your business that will grow, the personal growth that you're going to go through, and the legacy that you're truly going to be starting. This is all just because you showed up and decided that you were going to be part of this challenge. So first of all, tell us in the comment section if you have decided and you're all in. You are going for the challenge. You are killing it. And, tell us how many days you've been consistent in reaching out and sharing your story, or asking someone if you could share your story with them over the past week, because we're 7 days in now.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comment section, how many days have you accomplished your sharing of the story? And let's see. Okay. Oh, that's awesome, Emmy. 6 out of 7. That's
nice.
That's actually really great. Congratulations. Let's see if we've got anybody on here. Oh, hello from Cebu. It's good to see you, Judith. Thanks for being on here with us. 5 days. That's
Teresa,
awesome,
great job,
Teresa.
Teresa.
Fantastic. Now, guys, these are amazing efforts. And I'm sure that there's more of you out there that are participating than what have actually put it in the comments. But what we want you to know is that it's okay not to be perfect. Life happens, things happen. You get, caught up in something, and maybe you miss a day. Maybe you miss 2 days. That is okay. Dondi actually already mentioned that you can go and you could do 2 in 1 day to make up for one that you missed, right? But what we want to make sure that you guys understand, for those of you that are part of Team Freedom Reigns, this is the tracker that we created that you can actually find on the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page. And you can download it and start filling it out now. Even if you missed the whole first week, start now. We want you to complete everything from now forward, okay? Because we want you to submit your tracker no matter how many days you did. Now, keep in mind, we're going to be doing prizes and drawings at the end of this 31-day challenge. And yes, those of you that do it every single day, your prizes are going to be a little bit bigger than the ones that don't. But for those of you that complete the tracker and are consistent, we want you to turn it in, and there will be a drawing there as well. So let's see. Emmy said she got 2 engaged and gave samples of Axio.
Nice.
That's amazing. Great job. Great job. So let's see. I'm making sure that I'm staying. Oh, Dell Bowman, you
7.
are kicking butt. Way to go.
That's awesome.
7 days. That is 100%. Super proud of you. And that's why she's also in the Shooting Stars Club already this month. So congratulations. Amazing job. But again, this tracker can be found Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page in well, I don't know what it's called now. They keep changing it on me. There's a section up there where you can save things. It's up at the top. Just go and find it up there at the top. Okay. I'm serious. It's like Freckles is freaking me out with all of his changes, but it's okay. And by the way, that's,
Freckles.
an inside jokes, but I shouldn't do that here. But all right, guys. So this is the tracker. If you're not part of Team Freedom Reigns, feel free to take a screenshot of this. Feel free to use it anyway, because if you can track what you're doing, you'll do more, right? We get excited when we have a list to be able to complete. We get excited when we accomplish something that we normally don't. But I would just say, take a screenshot of this tracker, use it, and you will surprise yourself at the outcome.
Absolutely.
Anything you want to share before we go into this next slide?
Just maybe how to start the conversation. If you don't necessarily know how to start the conversation with someone, to be able to set the stage for you telling your story. So with the product, my favorite product is Axio. We're drinking it now. This is our probably second one today, but we usually do doubles. So this is like our 4th Axio today, or 4th stick of Axio today, but it's so having a conversation with people saying how much value would more focus and concentration have in your business? And they didn't quite understand how much more profitable could you be if you had better focus and attention span at your job?
Or can you imagine how much money you could make if you could move faster during the day?
Right. If you could think faster, think clearer, and get things done quicker because you were on point. Those are the kinds of questions that get people to lean in and go, well, yeah, I can totally see that. Well, do you mind if I share my story with you? And then just tell them that's my opening line because Axio is my favorite product. So, and it's just like, wow. And it actually improves brain chemistry. So it's a great way to start a conversation without having to seem spammy or having to be uncomfortable. Just asking a question. It's like, you know what I like about you? And I just totally respect that you're on point and that your attention to detail is important to you. Can I share my story with you about a product I'm taking that helps my focus and concentration? Or just whatever works for you, because people will lean in when you make it about them or you compliment them and just ask a provocative question. How much more money could you make if you had all your focus and attention dialed in? Or how much quicker could you get through projects, or whatever the case may be, whatever wording works for you. Ask a question to get them to, or call it an assumptive question. You already know the answer. If they could improve their focus and concentration, of course, it would be interesting to them. But ask a question like that to start the conversation. And then, hey, can I tell you my story about this awesome product that does that for me? I would venture to say most people would say yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and move in here. Now that you've heard that we want you to make that commitment today, even if you've missed a couple of days. And by the way, I see you, Riza. I see that you've been consistent since day one with NRF2. Congratulations. Now we want to share with you a little bit about the follow-up, what's been working for us, what's been working for our special guest, and what we're doing. And by the way, guys, not everybody says yes to us either. So we are excited to have Elite Pro 7, Kim Jacques, with us to be able to share her experience so far with the 31-day challenge. So Kim, hey, hello and welcome.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah,
Great.
Sound great.
All right. Well, thank you, Dondi and Marcy, for putting this together first and foremost, because just having this tracker printed out and put out on my desk, there's a part of our brain called the reticular activating system. And when we tell ourselves that something is important, then our brain identifies opportunities to be able to fulfill what is important to us. So just having this little tracker here has really held me accountable to be like, oh, okay, so where's that opportunity? And now I'm going to let you guys know I am actually a huge introvert. Like my favorite thing to do is like sit in a bathtub by myself. And I could be entertained for the rest of my life by myself. And so for me to go out and start a conversation with somebody, it's just not what I do. But I was proud of myself today because I was actually on a very lengthy telephone conversation with somebody from the internet company today. And by the end of it, I actually shared the information with him verbally, because I'm going to let you know that what I typically do is I am a social media girl. Like that is what I do. And so I thought I might, and so many people are gifted with so many different ways of sharing. Like everybody has a unique heart. And I know that this is no better a way than any other way, but I was asked to share what I do today. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll share with you a couple of the things that I have found have been really helpful. Sometimes people will ask me, well, like there's this thing, like, how do I do social media? Well, first of all, it's important to not feel spammy. Dondi had mentioned spammy. It's important to not feel spammy. And how one does not feel spammy in the world of social media is creating consistent value. And so one might ask themselves, well, what do you mean consistent value? Well, post 3 times a week. Once to do something inspiring. It's super easy, like an inspirational quote, right? Once to do something educational, educate something about anything, even if it's like, your favorite chocolate, you love this favorite chocolate. And why do you like this favorite chocolate? Right. And then something entertaining. There's always a funny meme to grab from somewhere to make somebody chuckle. Right. So if you can provide value, it's as simple as that, inspiration, education, and entertainment. then that's making deposits into your relationship bank with them, so that when you then go to offer them something that might be a little more in alignment with your business or your products, the deposits have already been made. Okay. So deposits have been made, and then you're going to be a little more overt. And the best place to be a little more overt is in stories. You tell stories in the story. And so I'm going to share with you just a tiny little section of story series. I'm going to point to, if you don't know how to make a story, how to learn how to make a story. And why stories is so good is because people actually, they look at stories almost like a reality TV show. They kind of look forward to, ooh, what is she up to now? And it doesn't have to be anything huge or big, but certainly when you are going to be stepping into that space of telling a story, it is really like they have patience for it. And you can see, do they pay attention to just the first slide? Ooh, they stayed to the second slide. Ooh, they stayed to the third slide. Ooh, they stayed to the fourth slide. You can see how interested they were. And if you've made 5 or 6 story slides on a topic associated with this, by the 6th story slide, you know that those people who stayed on the 6th story slide are the ones that randomly you are going to choose them to private message and say, hey, how's it going? Been a long time, because you know they have some interest. So it's like, if you're going to cast your fishing line out into the sea, you might as well cast it where you know the fish are biting. And that is what stories can really provide for you. So I'm going to screen share just for a second, and we'll see if this works. So this is a section of Facebook that just shows like all my old stories. It's, if you want to know where you can see all your old stories, you just Google, how do I see my archived of stories? And you'll see it's a mixture of like things that corporate has created for us, these beautiful little slides, but it's a mixture of that and pictures of myself eating a little yellow pill, right? Or a picture of an apple with oxidative stress, or the hair care or the skincare with me holding the skincare, right? And so me driving my car, me going on a trip. So it's not always about, you know, what we're doing and what we're selling. But it's about creating a story, right? So like, here's a series where it's like, it takes years as a woman to unlearn what we've been taught to be sorry for, right? And so it's just telling a story that's relevant to me and relevant to possibly other people. And it then goes into talking about Nerf 2 activation. Again, it's coupled between the corporate slides, a cute little selfie. Now, if you do not know how to make stories, it's super easy. Just go to YouTube and type in how to make Facebook stories. Boom. And you're going to have a million videos that teach you how to do it. And people say, well, how do I make the cute little stickers? They're right in here on YouTube. It's super easy once you get used to it. It's like probably the easier thing to do on social media is stories. And so again, why stories are so important is because you can be more spammy on stories because they can hop off anytime they want to. And then you can identify who actually was interested. And then, whoa, psychic, you just know who to talk to at that point. So that is the power of using stories, and you make value deposits all the time so that then you can show up and they're like, oh, I love this person and she loves skincare. Awesome. Now, if you're going to do something on your profile, then you want it to be more curiosity based. Like, let me tell you a story. Everything's about stories. Let me tell you a story about me. I did my taxes. It's tax season, folks. By the way, every accountant in the universe should be on Axio right now. So it's tax season right now. I'm sitting down and doing my taxes. Isn't this painful? Can anybody else relate with that? Everybody can relate with that, right? And like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I am drinking my little Wonder Woman cup. Thank goodness I have this by my side, because between this and jamming out to Beastie Boys, I am getting some taxes done, right? So it can be whatever it is. It's like on your profile, it is less about being overt. It's more about just curiosity. Okay. And the other thing too, which is where I actually want to give us all a challenge, is testimonials. I want to actually give us all a challenge to, on the Team Freedom Reigns page, communally put together as many compliant testimonials as we can, because then we can screenshot those testimonials and put them into a story series. Okay. And that story series can start off with, this is why I love what I do, selfie. This is why I love what I do. And then awesome testimonial, awesome testimonial, awesome testimonial, awesome testimonial. I feel so blessed. Right. So that's the kind of thing that with a little like organization, we can kind of lean into one another and really create some power behind that. Compliant testimonials. So if you don't know what a compliant testimonial is, do not play. But if you do know what a compliant testimonial is, just, let's have some fun with this. And then at the end of the stories, not all of them, but let's say 60% of them, it's important to have a call to action, a CTA. And that call to action can be something like, can you relate? That's a really soft call to action with a little thing that says, can you relate? Yes or no? Right. And they go, yes, punch that. Yes, I can relate triple time. Right. Like, I so relate with that. So that's a call to action. It's like, oh, not only were they interested, they actually can relate. Ask me how. Right. You've all seen that. Or you deserve to know, message me, right? So it can be anything like that. You can also, if you're fancy, you can put in some links and do stuff like that. YouTube that, because this is not a training on that. But the only other thing I would add is that, so doing social media could be all consuming if you sit there every single day and go, what should I post? What should I post? What should I post? Like every single day could be an hour. Or you can sit down for an hour or 2 hours once a week and say, what am I doing this week? And like write it out and figure out what your story is for the week. And then it can kind of flow. So that's called content batching. And so why I am prompting us all to do this call to action of doing the testimonials is because that's my version of batching. So as all of us are putting in the testimonials, then we can use those testimonials throughout the rest of the week and just like as inspiration for what we are going to, what stories we want to tell. So also, I will admit, Friday, I did 3 product shares so that I could take off Saturday and Sunday. Okay. I'm glad that you said that's okay. And I was going to tell you anyways, because of course I want to be of integrity around all of this. But I knew Friday and Saturday I was going to take off. So I did 3 on Friday in order to allow for that. And so testimonials are huge. Stories are huge. We can really create some powerful impact together by sharing those stories together on Team Freedom Reigns, if you guys are good with that. So I'll pass it back to you.
There it is. I couldn't find the mic. It's like, where's the mic? That was amazing, Kim. Absolutely
Seriously.
Gold there. And directing everybody to go to YouTube and find that training. You guys, that is the mark of a great leader. Because if we sit here and we tell you how to do everything, that's all we have the time to do, right? Where we all need to be out there doing our inviting and our following up and filling our funnel and everything. So great work there, Kim. Thank you so much for everything that you shared. Anything you want to say before I talk about testimonials? Axio testimonials. So it's actually the featured post now in the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page. That's where you can find what I was talking about before. But you can also find, we have already got one started for the compliant Axio stories. So we want yours. So I'm going to make a comment on it so you guys will all see it. And we want you to go in and share your compliant Axio story there. If you have compliant true science hair care stories, start a post and we can actually put that as a pin post as well. And then we can all share our different ones underneath hair care. But let's try to keep them together, because then it's easier for us to find. Okay. But I love that idea. And having the content to be able to batch your stories is really empowering, because you don't have to think of it all. You just get to use other people's content in your story. So golden. So you want to share what you're doing for your 31-day challenge?
Sure. I'm doing mine pretty much exclusively on LinkedIn. And it's just, that just seems to be my jam and my flow recently. And it's just asking provocative questions, like I said, and people that are doers, they're drivers, they're business owners, they're entrepreneurs. And it's just asking how much more valuable or how much more profitable would you be if you were able to control or improve your attention span by 10%? Your focus, your concentration, your deadlines, would they come quicker? Would your task, would they be easier? And just asking open-ended provocative questions. And most people, and these are people that I'm engaging with, most people are going to, well, yeah, of course. And so, well, let me share with you my story. So it's one question, one answer, permission to share my story, because I don't want to have to go through and talk about their kids and what was your barbecue like and how was the car and, all that kind of stuff just to tell them my story, because that sometimes can be spammy. Because it's like, well, asking all these questions and then, no, can I tell you my story? Why didn't you just ask me a question that would have been able to relate to when Kim was talking about relatability? So, and everybody can relate to more efficiency, more attention span, focus, concentration, especially people that have deadlines, especially the people that have jobs that require them to be present and focus. So it's just, that's been my go-to, and it's working really, really well.
So I'm getting ready to put up a story right now, just a single photo story. I just took a picture of my Axio and I'm going to put on here. Could you imagine ... how much money you could make if you could think faster? Because I've been putting up stories about Axio, because that is our 100% consistent product that we always use. Sometimes we forget to use the others, not on purpose, but Axio we never forget. And so anytime that you think of something, take a picture of what you're thinking, so you've got that stored photo as well. So last week I started doing some training with Ray Higdon on how to do reels. And by the way, guys, talking about stepping outside your comfort zone and really sucking bad before you can learn and become better. And you have to do it. We all have to do it, because if you go and look at the reels I've been putting up, and they told us don't delete any one of your reels, even if they're really bad. So you can go and you can see how bad I was. So I just want to challenge you. Don't be afraid to do something new and learn it and put it out there even before you feel like you're good at it, because people will relate to you better when you're bad, just so you know, and they'll also be able to see themselves doing what you're doing. So I've been putting out a bunch of reels. I've done some that were about Axio. I've done some about my birthday. I've done some about things that we've done over the weekend. And I've just, everything that I could think of, I was just starting to put together as a reel. And you would not believe how many people watch reels, and not just watch them, but they have some sort of an emotional response to your reel. And so one of the things when I first started doing reels, before I started learning, I didn't know to go and really follow up on them or even where to find it. And so I had done a reel about 4 weeks ago, and I went back and I looked, and there's over 70,000 views of that reel. And there was comments, and there was people that had given me hearts and all that kind of stuff. And so now I'm going back and I'm following up with those people. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm such an airhead. I didn't even know I was supposed to do this, right? And just putting it out there. But it's like, thank you so much for giving me that love on my reel about this and this and this. It's like, I just absolutely love seeing super smart people like you that I know really prioritize their health. I love having conversations with people like you. Would you be open to hearing my story? Right? So we just go back and we just have conversations with people, and we ask them, would you be open for me to share my story with you? And so I've got a ton of follow-ups to do. I've been doing them and just trying to be consistent in what I'm sharing. And so I'll tell you that that's one of the things with what Kim was just sharing with you. Being consistent is vital in sharing this information if you want people to take you seriously. You don't want people to think that you're going to be there and then disappear. You want to be consistent so that they will know to look for you because they like you. And then they're going to learn to trust you, and then they're absolutely going to want to buy from you. How about you? Anything else you want to add in there?
One thing I wanted to share, an experience from yesterday. Sometimes you can completely clumsily stumble upon an opportunity to share your story. That happened to me yesterday. So some of you may know that Marcy and I went a whole year without drinking any alcohol, and that expired 2 days ago. So we've had we had a glass of wine on the day of the 5th, which was the 366th day. And we had a couple drinks yesterday. Well, we were out with friends at a restaurant yesterday, and I was trying to tell the bartender, no, I want a shot of vodka, but I want you to pour it into a glass with ice and leave a bunch of space for a mixer. And he goes, so you want a mixed drink? And I'm like, yeah, but I just want a shot of vodka. And he wasn't getting it. And he's like, so what kind of mixer do you want me to pour into it? And I was like, no, I have my own mixer. And he's thinking to himself, who brings their own mixer to a restaurant? And that's what he said. I was like, well, I have my own mixer. It's actually a brain food. And I said, let me ask you this. When this place is busy, and we got there right before it got busy, when this place is jumping and getting busy, would it be advantageous for you? Would it be beneficial for you to remember all the drinks that people had, or have better memory in the drinks that people placed with you? And he goes, well, yeah. And I was like, well, that's what my mixer is. I'll go share it with you, but leave a big amount of space, because I want to pour like 90% of our mixer in this. It's brain food to help us think better and have better focus, attention, and memory. Because if you look at the benefits, mood, motivation, and memory. So I said, how about, have you ever had an experience where it's really, really busy and someone ordered and you didn't get the order right and they yelled at you or did something and it took your mood down? Would it be beneficial to not have to go through that experience, to better memorize what drinks they're ordering, especially when the bar is packed? And he said, absolutely. So I had a chance to share with him Axio yesterday, because I was trying to tell him how to give me a mixed drink with a bunch of space, because I had my own mixer. And it very clumsily went into an opportunity to tell my story, because I wasn't going to go tell my story to the bartender, but it ended up working out that way. So use all the things that come your way, even if it's clumsily and awkward, as an opportunity to share your story. It worked for us yesterday.
It works.
And purple
all
grape
the time
with vodka is a great
enough,
mixer, by the
enough
way.
on the alcohol.
I'm just saying.
But it is. All right, guys. So we hope that we've given you some ideas of ways that you could be sharing your story, breaking the ice, and utilizing social media as well as in person. And by the way, we've had a lot of workers in our house over the past couple of weeks. Every single one of them leaves here with an Axio, right? Because we want them, first of all, to have the brain power to do the job, right? But on top of it, it's our responsibility, because this is what it comes down to. The information that we have in our hands is not just to stay there. It's not just to stay with you. It truly is for you to pass it forward and to share with other people, because they all deserve to have the benefits that each one of us is experiencing. And by sharing those benefits, you're going to build your business. That's what it's that simple. You're going to build your business, right?
Yeah.
So anything else before we close out? And Kim, do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we close out?
I'm good.
Awesome. Okay. Well, guys, all right, 31-day challenge is on. We want to know that if you weren't fully in before, are you fully in now? Are you ready to go out there and start sharing your favorite product? And we know we've been talking a lot about Axio. If you're doing the Tri-Synergizer, awesome. If you're doing NRF2, awesome. Skincare, hair care, the pet product, Pet Tandem. Guys, it doesn't matter. Your favorite, it's your favorite, and you're going to share it your own special way. So we would like to know, let us know in the comment section if you have made a decision today that you are going to be all in and be part of this challenge. And we're just going to give you a second here before we let everybody go. Okay. And if you don't want to respond on here, that's all right. But we love you guys. We're excited for the challenge. If you have questions, reach out to us in instant messenger. We're totally here for you, but we love you guys. And this is fun.
Yes, it is. You guys are awesome. Whatever your favorite product is, tell people about it.
And next week, we will be back on our series of the core skills. We're going to have Michelle Scaff with us, teaching about onboarding, a commitment letter, and how to get people started the right way. So make sure you join us next Monday night. But love you. Have a great night.
Bye, everybody.